Thank you for visiting Utique Bridal. In this tutorial, I will show you 3 ways to create a 2-tiered bridal veil. The first veil is the full veil. It has a lot of volume and a lot of fullness to the veil. The second veil is the drop veil, and this just lays over your head without a lot of volume to it. For the third veil, it's going to be a separate blusher and train. So you can wear it both to the ceremony, and for the reception, you can just take off the long train and then use your blusher as the veil. So here are the ordinaries you will need in order to complete this project. If you need more time, feel free to press pause and review the list. Before we get started, let's measure the full length of the tulle you will need. First, we'll get the blusher length. So you'll start where the blusher is going to lay on your head and then bring it forward to where you would like it to fall. For example here, I want my blusher to fall at about 22 inches. Now for the train length, if you want a long one, I recommend a friend to help measure. So start where the comb is going to lay and measure along your back. For example here, I'm going to measure it at 34 inches. So for this tutorial, I'm going to use the example of a 22-inch blusher and a 34-inch train. You will add the blusher and train length together, and that will be your tulle measurement. So mine is 56 inches. So let's get started on the full veil. Your tulle should be laying out flat. So for the first step, you will fold the tulle in half. Now make sure you make note of the folded end and the separated layers. For step 2, we're going to round off the corner by cutting it at a curve. To ensure a smooth curve, just trim any hard edges. In step 3, we're going to completely unfold the tulle. For step 4, we're going to fold it over to the blusher measurement. For example, mine was at 22 inches. Now start with a secure stitch on one end and then just stitch along very closely to the fold. And as you stitch, just gather the tulle. Once you get to the end, just make sure the width of the gather is the same width as the hair comb. Secure stitch, and now finally for step 6, sew the tulle onto the comb. And you are complete with a veil that has a blusher and some fullness to it. Now we're going to create the drop veil. Your tulle should be laid out flat, and you're going to repeat steps 1 through 4 as you did in the full veil. Once you get to folding over the blusher, you're going to find the center of the tulle by folding it up and then pinning the center. Now center the hair comb with the pin, remove the pin, and now secure stitch the hair comb to the tulle, and you are complete with the drop veil. For this portion of the tutorial, we are going to create a separate blusher and a separate train. In addition, I'm also going to show you how to reduce fullness. So you will need 2 hair combs for this veil. Your tulle should be laid out, and you will cut down at the blusher measurement, which mine is 22 inches. After you cut it, you will have one length for the blusher and one for the train. Now take your blusher and lay it over the train and align the bottom of the veils. Make note of the folded side and the separated layers. At this point, you can remove the amount of fullness by cutting off the excess tulle starting from the outside of the veil. Here I'm going to mark half the amount, which is 13.5 inches from the outside edge, and then cut. And now I'm going to round off the corner by cutting a curve. This is a side note if you are creating a cathedral length train. If you want to keep the base wider than your dress, just cut the curve. Then about midway, you can start reducing the fullness by cutting it in towards the fold. And now you will have a wide base and less fullness. And now we'll continue with the separate blusher and train. Next, separate the blusher and the train. Then start with a secure stitch and stitch and gather your blusher veil. Gather the tulle to the width of the hair comb. Secure stitch the tulle and then stitch it to the hair comb. Repeat the process for the train and you are complete.
Your knight in shining armor, and you can be the girl that I saved from the tower. We can live happily ever after if you want to be my Valentine.
Well, thank you for visiting, and I hope you get inspired to create something extraordinary out of the ordinary.
I'm a little nervous to tell you how I feel.
If you would like to view this tutorial again, please click on the full veil. If you would like to learn how to make the lace trim veil or prepare a hair comb, please click on one of the images.
Future holds, but if you're with me, I'm ready to go with you. With you. I could be your knight of shining armor, and you can be the girl that I saved from the tower. We can live happily ever after if you want to be my Valentine. Be my Valentine.